The Huddersfield Literature Festival is an annual festival with community, accessibility and inclusivity at the heart of every festival. The award-winning 10-day event held in the spring comprises over 50 events, both online and at accessible spaces in Huddersfield. The Huddersfield Literature Festival champions accessibility, diversity, inclusion, and amplifies the presence and voices of underrepresented groups. The event showcases emerging writers and artists alongside significant names, and the festival offers a diverse program of author talks, workshops, discussion topics, performance poetry, multi-arts performances, well-being projects, family-friendly events, and events for young people. Here to tell us more about the festival and how year after year it gets more expansive and diverse, we wholeheartedly welcome Festival Director Michelle Hodgson. As a leader of arts and culture, what drives you to dedicate your time and efforts to making the Huddersfield Literature Festival such a success?
Well, I've always had a passion for books and reading and performance as well. I worked in book publishing for many years, and it's just such a great opportunity to be able to bring that to the town. The Literature Festival's been going for a little while now, but I hope over the years we've managed to grow it and develop and bring more things to schools and to young people, more free events, and just make it more accessible to people throughout the region.
Excellent. Well, how long have you been involved with the festival?
Well, I moved to the town in 2009. I went to volunteer at the festival and discovered it had stopped running around 2012, and it was suggested that I might like to take over. We had £40.70 in the bank, which wasn't really much to build on, but then we managed to get some help from the university and the Arts Council, and so I ran a mini festival in 2013. And the last one I did was 2023. So I've done 11 festivals and just built it up over the years with a brilliant team around me.
So you see many years ahead you doing the festival?
I'm loving doing it at the moment. At the same time, we're trying to bring in some younger people onto the committee and also core team who will hopefully be trained up and be able to take over when I can put my feet up and just come to the festival as an audience member rather than an organiser.
Okay. Could you share any memorable moments or experiences from previous Huddersfield Literature Festivals?
Wow, there are so many. Every year we have wonderful things. We've recently, as you know, had an event with Lem Sisse, which you were great at hosting, and that was a one-off event for us actually in the autumn. And Lem is obviously a poet, a memoirist, but also our patron, and that was a wonderful event to host. Our other patron, Sir Patrick Stewart, did a great event for us in 2018, and he's got a memoir out, so we're hoping maybe lure him back next year, which should be good.
Mr. Star Trekkie.
Mr. Star Trek, Mr. X-Men,
X-Men, yeah.
And many fantastic theatre shows, of course. And he was wonderful. He was very down to earth, and he seemed to really enjoy doing the event before. We were at the town hall, and he grew up locally. Yeah. He remembered going there as a young man and sitting in the gods and watching shows and listening to music there. So I hope to get him back. But then there are lots of kind of everyday memorable moments, just seeing children enjoying meeting the Gruffalo, or, people coming out of a workshop and really you can see that they've got a lot out of it, or out of a discussion event. And then the other thing, we've won a couple of awards and we've been shortlisted for a few, but last year we won a Yorkshire Post Award. And it's for accessible and inclusive tourism, and that it's just so close to our heart. We didn't expect to win because we were up against some really big hitters, from across Yorkshire, some huge organisations. And I even told my team, don't, get your face ready to clap for someone else, But yeah, they announced we'd won, and we were all kind of And yeah, that was great. That meant a lot to be recognised on that sort of scale.
Well, I've known you a few years now, and you're not one to have a look in the limelight for things and be patted on the back for the things you do. I think you connect a lot of what your professional life to giving. But is it a lonely place being a leader of or director of the literature festival?
That's a good question. Not if you don't let it be. The key for me is the people around me, all of the team, because I've got a core team and I've got a fantastic steering committee of really diverse voices and experiences, and they give so much of their time, even in the paid roles, that everyone goes above and beyond. And I think being able to call on them, and they've become friends over the years as well, but being able to call on them and say, right, I've got this issue, what do you think, and can you advise? And we have quarterly meetings for the steering committee. I love those meetings. It's a chance to reconnect with people. But also I just meet members of the team regularly for coffee, and we have a little catch up. And I'll be honest, I enjoy being the person who makes a lot of the decisions. Equally, the buck stops with me, so I have to take that responsibility. And on top of the team, of course, we work with organisations like yours and a huge number of other organisations in Huddersfield. So constantly communicating with other people, so no, it doesn't feel lonely.
Yeah, excellent. How do you select the authors and events for the festivals? What's the criteria?
So the publishers all produce catalogues, so I go and they're online now, so it's easy to go through those and just see what's coming up. They also email me with ideas, and then I do a little bit of trawling myself through just upcoming books, and I look at what other festivals are doing. I think we all do that. And as to deciding which things, it's a mixture of knowing the audience we've got here and the sort of things they enjoy, knowing things that people in general enjoy. For example, crime fiction's always popular, performance poetry's always popular. Occasionally I'll sneak in some authors who are lesser known but I'm a big fan of. But I've got to be very aware that I'm not programming for me, I'm programming for the town, for the area.
In your opinion, though, how does literature contribute to a community's cultural and social fabric?
I think that there's a real issue over the word literature, and in a way it's unfortunate that we've got the word literature in our festival title, because it can just put some people off. They think it's going to be something very highfalutin and not for them. They don't realise that a slam poetry event is like a rap battle sometimes, or very entertaining and comedic, or that they can come to something for a free event for the children where they get free creative craft activities for the day. So really it's up to us to try and get that across, which obviously we do in our marketing, but we're doing a much expanded schools programme nowadays as well, so that children can experience having an author coming into the school, doing workshops, addressing issues that affect them through writing poetry, for example, which works really well, and the teachers always come back to us and say how incredible the experience is for the children. And importantly, an important part of that is having local people, because there's such a wealth of local authors, workshop tutors, poets, and they really inspire the children. And also the children can then see there's someone who lives around here. It's not someone, piloted in from London, who does this for a living and can inspire them. But I think it's very well recognised and documented. There have been many surveys about the benefits of taking part in events like the ones we run at the festival, for well-being, just keeping people informed, social cohesion as well. So I think those are key parts of the festival, and a lot of it happens by accident. You know, you put on a great workshop, people walk out feeling they've learnt skills, they've met some new people, they've done something interesting rather than just sitting at home on a Saturday morning. And I think there's lots documented of the benefits of that.
Last year, your 2023 program, many of my peers was telling me it was one of the best they've been to because of the range of diversity. They really felt included, validated, recognized. So, you know, keep doing what you're doing, because it is growing. I've seen a real diverse shift over the last 5 or 6 years. So I think the Literature Festival, as it's always been heading in the right direction, it's really moving towards where people from different walks of life and different ethnicities feel very, very comfortable at the Literature Festival.
Can I just say on that, one of the things that's helped that is that publishers have woken up to the need to publish more diverse books.
Oh, right.
So, you know, it's in the past there've been a few well-known voices, and you try and book them, and it's like, oh, they're doing all these other places, and they're not coming to Huddersfield. Whereas now, partly because we've built up the festival, but also partly because there is a better range of books being published and poets' voices being heard. That's definitely helped helped us to be more diverse. And recently I went to the opening of a new expanded offices in Sheffield for Hachette Publishers, there's loads of publishers in it, Little Brown, Orion, John Murray, various others. They've got offices in Bristol, Manchester, Sheffield, various places, and the independents in the north are really doing well. So I think all these things combined are helping festival directors to have a bigger pool to draw on, and more support for things happening in the north.
Oh, that's great to know. Great to hear. What can I say? I wish you and your team continued success, and especially in the lead up to 2024 and the delivery of the 2024 Literature Festival, where I might say you never gave us an exclusive, but never mind, I'll wait till January to
Next year.
Next year. If you want to learn or find out more about the Huddersfield Literature Festival, please visit their website at www.HuddLitFest.org.uk. Thank you, our audience, for your continued support. Be sure to follow us on our social media channels, which are on the screen right now, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.